Welcome to Lesson 4. In this lesson, we're going to learn one of the most important concepts in Figma, frames. We'll see what frames are, how they compare to artboards, how to use Figma's built-in presets, and finally, how to create frames with completely custom sizes. Let's get started. A frame is basically a container or workspace for your design. Think of it like a piece of paper, a mobile screen, or a browser window. To create a frame, press F on your keyboard. You can also select the Frame tool from the toolbar. Once you create a frame, you can place other objects inside it. For example, let's add a rectangle. Notice that the rectangle is now inside the frame. Frames are extremely important because they allow us to organize our designs and create complete screens and layouts. If you've used Photoshop or Illustrator, you may already know the term artboard. In Figma, you'll mainly work with frames. The idea is very similar. An artboard is a defined area for your design, and a Figma frame serves a similar purpose. So if you're coming from another design tool, you can think of a Figma frame as your artboard or design screen. For example, each screen of a mobile app can be a separate frame. One of the best things about Figma's Frame tool is the built-in presets. When you select the Frame tool, you'll see different categories such as phone, tablet, desktop, watch, presentation, and more. Let's say we're designing a mobile app. Instead of manually entering the dimensions, we can simply choose a phone preset. Figma automatically creates the frame using the selected size. The same thing works for desktop designs. Let's select desktop and choose a desktop preset. Now we have a frame ready for designing a website. Presets are especially useful because they give us standard screen sizes and save a lot of time. But sometimes the size we need isn't available in the presets. In that case, we can create a custom frame. Select the frame and look at the Properties panel on the right. Here, you'll find the width and height values. For example, let's enter 1,200 pixels wide and 800 pixels high. And that's it. We've created a custom frame with exactly the dimensions we need. You can also resize the frame manually by dragging its edges. But when you need precise dimensions, entering the values directly is usually easier. You can also create multiple frames on the same canvas. For example, let's create a simple, responsive website layout. We'll have desktop, tablet, and mobile. Now we can design each version side by side. You can also duplicate a frame when you want to create another screen with a similar structure. This makes it much easier to organize larger Figma projects. So, let's quickly recap what we learned in this lesson. A frame is a container or workspace for your design. In Figma, frames work much like artboards and other design applications. You can use presets for common device and screen sizes, or create a custom frame by entering your own width and height. And remember, the shortcut for the Frame tool is F. In the next lesson, we'll learn how to move around the Figma canvas, zoom in and out, pan across our workspace, and use some useful navigation shortcuts. That's it for Lesson 4. Let's move on to the next lesson.